In the not too distant future, next Sunday AD, there was a guy named Joel, not too different from you or me.
Hello, I'm Faith, and welcome to Faith's Take, where I talk about anything and everything that I find interesting. And welcome to my review of MST3K episode 109, Project Moonbase. So far, Season 1 has been pretty rough, with a couple of at least mildly enjoyable episodes mixed in. So will this be on the rougher side or on the enjoyable side? Let's just dive in and see for ourselves. We open with yet another explanation from Joel about what's going to happen in the next 90 minutes, but it seems even more vague than the previous couple of times, so I don't really know what he's trying to accomplish at this point. And though the bots are present, they just sit there without saying a word while Joel monologues. We then get into the invention exchange, where Joel juggles water on paddles and the Mads make a twisted etch-a-sketch, neither of which are particularly grand. But things liven up a bit when it's revealed that we'll be treated to another double dose of Commando Cody today, and Joel and the bots give the only appropriate response.
Hi everybody, I'm Joel, as you know, and I'm on the Satellite of Love here. Okay, I guess we got a commercial coming up real soon, and we're expecting a call from the evil scientists as well, so you might want to stick around. Hey sirs, is it time for the invention exchange?
No, it's time for the AAU swim meet. Yes, it's time for the invention exchange.
Dazzle us, Sparky.
This week, I've got a new way of juggling water. Okay, and I've got these two ping pong paddles, okay, with special surfaces that repel water. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, good, got it. Okay, see? Look it. I'm juggling water, you guys.
Now, our invention this week combines the arty effect of the old Etch-a-Sketch with the educational payoff of Uncle Milty's ant farm.
What we've done is we've taken the normal directional capabilities of the ant and scrambled them with an ultrasonic directional device, a little guidance system of our own. See? I wrote my name.
Well, our movie this week is called Project Moonbase, and it features a group of astronauts almost as inept as you are, Joel.
And a plot as weak as herbal tea.
Yes, but first, how about a double dip of our old friend Commando Cody and the radar men from the moon?
I'm not listening. No.
Interesting reaction. Taste the pain, buddy.
Enjoy.
Whoa. Whoa.
Into the theater we go, and you really gotta feel sorry for these guys having to sit through the same dang credits for the 7th and 8th time. But we pick up right where we left off, with Cody being tricked by the gangsters and falling off of a cliff, but after some cheesy effects worthy of the Puma Man, he's off flying again. And we get more of the same dialogue-heavy expositional sleuthing scenes that we've already watched about 36 times by now, which end up with Cody finding a lead to the dastardly villains he seeks. After the same dialogue-heavy expositional Moonman scenes we've watched about 36 times by now, the thugs head out to stop some trains using a moon ray gun, which is exactly what they did in the first episode of this flipping serial! We're stuck, guys! Stuck in an infinite loop of awful effects, terrible writing, and the most bland hero this side of the current DCEU Superman! Sorry, got a little carried away there. Let's just keep moving and we'll all get through this together. Cody follows his lead and ends up at a garage where he and the mechanic get jumped by the thugs, ending up in a fight scene we've seen about 36... Sorry again. I just gotta remember to breathe and I should be fine. Anyway, after Joel somehow has cutouts pre-made for this fight, which I can't even really be frustrated with, seeing how these shorts are so freaking predictable, Cody loses, the bad guys split, and he just immediately hears where the goons are headed anyway, so this whole lead thing didn't even matter. Lovely.
Don't move.
Oh, I mean, you can move a little bit. You can breathe and stuff.
Montana looks left.
Drop your gun.
He's open.
Where's Graven?
Fires away, and it's incomplete. Oh, that could have been his rotator cuff.
Plummeting towards Earth.
Wow.
When I tried to look for Graven and his pal, they had disappeared. They must have taken off to the hills on foot.
So where are we now?
Oh, think about it, lady. You're in the lab.
Except...
Al's Cafe, serving the underworld since 1923.
Sure, I'll let you know if they ever turn up here again, Mr. Cody.
Good. See you later.
Boy, I hate that guy.
We must have Earth's defenses completely disorganized before we
cool.
start our invasion from the moon. Yes, Your Excellency.
Yes, Your Excellency. Get a bomb, hire some thugs, get new thugs. I'm beginning not to believe this world conquer thing anyway.
Cover as many of them as you can today.
And then knock off for a light lunch. You guys have been working hard.
Hi.
Get away from that truck.
Hey, what's going on?
Frisk 'em. Stay out of this or you'll get hurt.
Now look, I don't want any trouble in here.
So I'm just gonna hit you with this crowbar.
Cool.
It's a little thing I made. I knew we'd use them sometime.
Oh, look, he's getting tired.
What a retread.
After a chase scene that's identical to everyone we've seen before it, Cody and one of his pals, who are all basically interchangeable at this point, start bombing the gangster's truck only to be apparently struck by their moon ray gun. But are they still... You know what? I'm not even finishing that question. We're thrust into the next short, and after the same credits again, where our trio tries to sing their pain away, we see that, of course, Cody and his non-specific friends survive, and they gather their gang of scientist buddies to head back to the moon.
Fly the plane, Ted. Get the girl, Ted. Oh, I'm gonna show him something.
Calling Ted Richards.
Who is it?
Who do you think, dolt?
Oh, could you guys have found a smaller bomb? What are the odds of a moving plane hitting a moving target with a moving bomb that looks like a pineapple? Jeez.
Oh, great, 00 Cody. Do you have a license to kill now, Mr. Cody?
What was that?
Oh, just an exploding dip in the road. Well, that's the end. Next week, a new character for sure. There's no way you could get a guy out of that. You're watching Commando Cody, a not-so-new character from Republic. He gets in trouble every week, but he's saved by editing.
His laboratory is a boxing ring when bad guys come to mix it up. Someday always gets kidnapped and Cody has to fix it up.
Bad guys beware, Cody is there. You'll like his hair. It's under his helmet because we couldn't think of a good rhyme. And that's the end of the Commando Cody theme song. So sit right back and with a will of granite and watch Chapter 8, The Enemy Planet.
Very nice.
Meanwhile, back at the Cody Institute for Deceptive Editing.
The rocket ship is all fueled and ready. Joan, phone Hank and
Rocket
tell me
ship.
get
We're
the
going
jets
back
warmed
to
up.
the
We leave
moon,
right
it
away.
sounds like.
Terrific.
I want to get some...
Hope this trip is as easy as your last one.
Thanks. It should be.
Since we're using the same footage.
Goodbye.
Once back on the moon, Cody's pals insist to come along, but Cody refuses as he says this is just a scouting mission to find some lunarium, which is right up there with Avatar's Unobtainium and Transformer 4's Transformium on the list of worst names for made-up valuable substances. But now the question is, why did he have the others come along at all if he knew this whole time he would just go out alone? Did he just want to waste even more of NASA's resources? After instantly defeating a moon guard and stealing his outfit, Cody actually lets one of his friends be useful by sneaking into the moon lab, finding what they wanted, and nabbing a moon tank faster than you can say radar men from the moon. They're followed on the way back, and after their tank gets blasted, Cody's little buddy starts losing air fast. Will Cody be able to save him in time? You know, if I never find out the answer to that question, it'll be too soon.
Right, set her down.
Kind of looks like the Upper Dells.
Yeah.
You sure you don't want me to go along? No, not this time. This is just a scouting trip to try to find where they keep the lunarium.
How do you expect to do that?
Well, if I'm lucky, I'll be able to capture one of the moon men and get some information out of him.
Well, bundle up, honey. It's cold out there.
Well, I'm just standing on this hill and looking around. Oh, there I am.
It's Don Knotts.
Huh?
Give me that gun. It's mine.
It's a little after 9. I'll go right in. You find a place to hide and watch for me to come out. Okay.
Geez, you got right through their rigid security system. I can't believe that. All right. I found my Nintendo. I'm going to play Super Mario Brothers and everything. This is going to be so great. Oh, it's heavy. You know, these moon men have uses for plywood we haven't even dreamed of yet. Oh, it's the Das Boot theme all over again.
Das Moonboot. By this time, my lungs were aching for air.
Heading out for our first mid-experiment segment, Tom wants to play Commando Cody, but as Joel and Crow get bored, things unravel pretty quickly.
Okay, now I think I'm gonna fly over to that window and look for those rotten radar men from the moon.
Are you done yet?
No, I'm not done yet. Okay, let's do a flyby of that nudist colony. Swing it into high, Teddy. I feel the need. The need for speed.
Come on, Servo.
Who?
I mean, Commando Servo.
Earthmen, I want you to take an atomic bomb the size of a pineapple, strap it to a Piper Cub, and then crash into Mount Vesuvius. Oh, I can't get into this. Joel, I want to be Commander Cody for a while.
Does he have any idea who he's dealing with? I could...
You're Servo and Joel's holding you up.
Pay no attention to the man holding me up. Take me down, Ted. I'm on a roll.
Oh, come on, Servo. Don't be such a baby.
All right, Krog, the jig is up. Put down the cheese pistol and fight me like a man.
Oh, jamming in your Venturi, Bubblehead. Come
Let's
on, give me
go,
that cut.
Moon Man.
Hey.
Jumping back into the theater, we start with our feature of Project Moonbase. It opens in the most exciting of ways, with a long opening crawl, which Servo reads for us. We then join some bland men who are supposed to be our bad guys, though they're somehow even less threatening than the Commando Cody gangsters, who are sending out orders to their followers. They want to sabotage the construction of the first ever colony on the moon, and plan to do so by swapping out a scientist named Dr. Werner, who's being sent to help map the moon, with a fake who happens to look exactly like him. No makeup or facial reconstructive surgery necessary. The villains then quickly detain and kidnap the real doctor at his hotel, quite easily for a man who's important to one of the biggest and most complicated projects in human history.
In 1948, the Secretary of Defense proposed that the United States build a space station as a military guardian of the sky. By 1954, atom bombs and intercontinental rockets made it a necessity. 1963, the Beatles first appeared on Ed Sullivan. 1966, the first orbital flight was made by Colonel Bright Eyes. By 1970, the space station had been built and free men were reaching the moon. 1977, hot pants became the height of fashion.
Hey, it's Bob Newhart.
No, it's Bob Hope.
Look at that, the fondue set of the future.
Oh, look at the little tie. They must have got into a tie-cutting gag.
Roundtree here.
Joel here.
Servo here.
Crow here.
Due to impregnable security precautions, we have been unable to do so.
Sorry I blew up like that.
I have 300 operatives. We're typed to resemble all leading scientists in the field.
And you know how expensive that is.
Stand by. Yes?
Wow, how futuristic.
Oh, that phone bill's gonna be enormous.
Your man for Project A is Dr. Werner. Repeat, Dr. Werner. W-E-R-N-H-E-R.
What's it spell?
Werner.
What's it mean?
Diddley.
Sam, according to all my available information, there is only 2 ways of doing it.
Neither are very good.
Send a man up for my bags, please. Thank you. Send for a bellhop.
What luck, I happen to be dressed as a bellhop.
Take these 2 bags here, and I'll take the briefcase.
Uh-oh, he forgot to say please.
How did you get here so quickly?
That's how I got here so quickly.
While the fake doctor gets checked in for the mission, we meet the rest of the crew of the lunar flight. There's a lot of confusing exposition about who's going to be pilot and co-pilot and switching things around at last minute, which doesn't seem safe for such a seemingly well-thought-out endeavor. And these switches bring out the malice and jealousy based on the past relationships of the crew members, which may have had the potential to be interesting if we actually knew who any of these people were.
Spackham, wood fill and meat substitute.
We built this city of Spackham.
Instead of rock and roll?
Yep.
According to my calculus, 36 million miles should be equal to the ratio of 67 million miles.
Cut the crap, Doctor. I love you.
McIntosh and I can photograph the back face of the moon without help.
A lot of politics in these things, boy. If we hadn't played the science angle, we wouldn't have gotten the authorization.
Funny
Nor
how
the money.
science figures into
This
space
round-the-moon
travel.
flight is...
Oh, no, sir, not again. They can't do this, sir.
Sit down, Bill, and take it easy. You saw where those orders originated?
Well, yes, sir, but
I said sit down, Bill, and take it easy.
Sitting, sir. Taking it easy, sir.
Have a smoke. I'm sending you as co-pilot.
What? No, sir. I mean, well, excuse me, sir, but if it's all the same to you, leave McIntosh as co-pilot.
He's a good
I'd
apple.
just as soon not have...
Major Moore's the best pilot we have, better than you are.
But I don't understand why
Pipe
you...
down.
Then be quiet.
If he'd weighed 90 pounds instead of 180,
Then he'd be
a
my
colonel and a
prom
public
date.
hero, and you'd still be a captain. But you got the orbital flight. You got the ticker tape parades and all the rest. And ever
You
since
got
you've been too
your
big
own
for your
room,
britches.
the princess phone,
me?
the TV whenever you wanted it.
In our next segment out on deck, Joel and the bots demonstrate the neckties of the future based on the bad guys' super short ties in the movie. And while the ties definitely have some creativity behind them, the delivery and writing leave quite a bit to be desired, and we'll see the fashion show idea with much better results later on in the series.
The tie of the future will be cut short to eliminate the age-old morning question, is it appropriate to tuck my tie into my pants? There'll be no room in the future for fashion blunders when the short guy, a go-go tie, swings into high. That's right, whether you're inside, outside, or upside down, the Hexfield body tie fits and fits. Very nice, Tom, thank you.
Don't talk to me, I'm a high fashion model from the future.
Crow, from the planet Ulio Kuryakin rages on into the year 9000 with a tie that acknowledges men will always dribble. It senses the soup on your lips, reaches up and dabs the soup away.
Into the theater once more, we have the General talking to the crew and the press about the mission. Joel then makes another correct prediction by holding up cue cards for the General, and while I could forgive it in the short, I can't forgive it now. Unlike Commando Cody doing the same thing 1,001 times, the trio is supposed to have never seen this film before, and that's kind of the whole framing of device of the show. I didn't let this type of thing slide in Season 11, and I'm not going to do it now, especially when the gag here is an entire minute long. I get that riffing dialogue-heavy scenes is tough, but this is still a bit excessive. Finally, the crew take off in their rocket and head to a space station to get some information that they should have already known, and the whole scene really seems to just be here to show off their labyrinth-esque effects, which, granted, would have been even cooler at the time.
Now that we have a space station,
Or frisbee.
it is at last possible to send a ship
Or batteries.
all the way around the moon.
Or playground ball.
The most important thing in the world to me is the military security of the United States.
And my dog Floppy.
And I'm not in the least bit of...
Could you tell me something about this wonderful space station?
I'll help you with the cue cards.
That would be very interesting, General.
Well, I can give you a rough idea. The station...
Isn't she something?
Yeah, and the girl ain't bad either.
Hope you enjoyed the trip, Colonel. Happy landings, Bill. Thank you, Captain.
You dropped your pen. Shoes untied. I love this.
Hey, don't cross the split screen.
Art design by M.C. Escher.
Dr. Werner will do the photographic and scientific work as you pass around the back face of the moon.
I think we should attempt a landing, sir.
Shut up. 1 step at a time, Colonel. Boy, walking on the walls must be a big problem.
After all of that boring info dumping with personality-less characters we don't even get to know, they finally take off from the shuttle to scope out the moon. You can tell the mission is off to a great start when the pilot and co-pilot just can't stop hating on each other. And instead of, building some suspense, the co-pilot Bill immediately figures out that the doctor's a fake, since even though the bad guys spent over a year trying to find the perfect phony, they didn't even bother teaching him anything about who he's supposed to be impersonating, or even how the flipping rocket works. Bill tells Pilot Bright Eyes about his discovery. She of course responds with bitter distrust, and since Bill doesn't know what whispering is, the fake is able to hear every word and attack them. In the chaos, some buttons get pushed and the rocket speeds off, reaching the moon even faster than planned. So I guess the villain just got the opposite of what he wanted.
Magellan to Lock 4, all secure. Shove off.
Same to you, Toots. Initiate cheesy effects sequence.
Roger that. Initiating cheesy effects, Bill.
Numbers are really meaningless in a gravitiometer.
Initiate meaningless lights.
The Major doesn't like for someone else to play with his toys. But that's enough now. I'll give you another lesson tomorrow.
Oh, get that lady a saucer of milk.
Meow.
Doctor, you haven't set the automatic trip yet.
The automatic trip, yeah.
It's hard to take anyone in a flannel skull cap seriously.
You see if you can raise her.
If I could raise the Earth, I wouldn't need to go into space, you dolt.
That guy Werner, he's a phony.
What? Explain yourself.
Rockets and not enough about photography.
Oh my God!
It's hands down the slap happiest game ever. While Bright Eyes relaxes in the chase lounge, Jim will attempt to subdue the angry spy.
This is low-impact aerobics.
It's low-impact filmmaking, too.
For our final mid-movie segment, Tom and Crow make an infomercial to tell us about all the wonders of Spackum. Joel plays with a color-changing goo that can do anything for anyone, and he could really create an ASMR video with that stuff.
It's new.
It's improved.
It's Spackum, as seen in the movie Project Moonbase.
Yes, Spackum, the miracle home product you thought you'd never need. That valuable china crack? No problem. Just a dab of Spackum will do the trick.
Try Spackum on an onion roll for a real lunchtime treat.
Takes care of rust on that old jalopy, and ladies will just love how Spackum removes those nagging liver spots and plantar's warts. Massage it into your scalp for a refreshing change of mind.
Rub it into your chest and feel the petroleum vapors go to work.
Not an aerosol, not a paste, and not available in any stores.
It's Spackum!
Despite getting to the moon fast and landing safely with no one at the helm, and easily overcoming and tying up the jerk, they're miles away from their orbital path with no way of contacting anyone. They're also out of fuel for the takeoff back to Earth, and hope is fading fast. Bill decides the best thing to do is go out and set up a radio to try and call for help before the oxygen is gone. He insists it's a two-person job, and of course the most sane thing to do in this situation is uncuffing the guy who just tried to kill you and getting him to help instead of just keeping him unconscious and incapacitated and taking Bright Eyes. There's just no way this plan could ever go awry.
The Lunar Explorer model sets down on the moon surface model.
That's one small step for special effects, one giant leap for our imagination.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to get rid of him.
What are you going to do with him?
Well, thought I'd dress him up like us. That's pretty degrading.
Well, now we've got more important things to worry about. How much food there is, how much water, how much air.
How much love.
Which one runs up. We've landed on the moon. Since we're beyond radio reach of the Earth, I have to go out and set up a relay.
Have fun.
You're coming with me. It's a gamble whether or not we'll ever make it.
Bet you a C-note we die.
All right. One false move and you get this.
Wow, cool. Can I keep it?
Well, now at least we'll be able to get HBO.
Things go awry, but in a good kind of way, when the movie once again forgets that sometimes films should be interesting, and the evil doctor just plummets to his death after the radio is set up without our heroes having to do anything. Bill makes it back to the ship within an inch of his life, and after coming to, he and Bright Eyes get a hold of the Earth to just be told that they might as well stay there. Yup, even though they don't have the knowledge or training to actually start up the moon colony, instead of getting rescued, they're just gonna get food and oxygen dropped off to them. And if that weren't enough, the General informs Bill that if he and Bright Eyes are gonna be alone for who knows how long against their wills, they may as well just get married. And in true 90s rom-com fashion, the couple who bickered and hated each other soon realized that they loved each other all along, and they get married via video screen in what looks like middle school gym clothes. And I thought the wedding in Robot Monster was informal.
Be very careful going down. Those rocks can be very, very slippery.
Oh, come on. What could happen? We're 1/6 our own weight. Nothing could... Oh! Right in the butt.
Hey, quit fooling around down there.
Well, I didn't mean to hurt anybody. We were just playing. Mom says sometimes I play too rough. I'm probably a lot bigger than the other kids are. And, well, I was just goofing off, and now I guess he's dead. I was playing, and well, it wasn't really my fault. I feel like such a jerk. I never really killed anybody before. Jeez.
Colonel, listen carefully. Make him a prisoner at once. Take him alive if you can, but don't take any chances.
It's a little too late on that alive thing, sir.
But in the struggle, the jets were fired, and I found it necessary to land on the moon.
You
but
what?
We didn't have enough fuel.
Repeat, you did what?
We had to land on the moon.
Oh!
Are you in any immediate danger?
No,
well, the
sir.
boredom is getting pretty
Got to work
relentless.
this out. You are now Moonbase #1. You will remain where you are and show the flag until such time as you can be relieved by a larger permanent force.
Show the flag to who?
But I've just been talking with the White House. The president thinks, and so do I.
The president thinks. That's something new.
You're going to be shut up in that tin can with a pretty young woman for weeks, maybe months. Public opinion being what it is, it'd be a lot better for everyone. For the country, for the service, and for you, if you two were married.
What are you saying? I'm no rabbit.
She wouldn't have me on a silver platter.
How about in a tin can?
How about an air mattress slathered with butter?
Right.
She has no use for me.
Have you tried asking her?
Hey, I never thought of that.
Bill, it's landed.
Yeah. I'll go out and see what's in it.
It's the minister.
What is it, Bright Eyes? Any trouble?
No.
Only
not
with the
at this
invitations, but we got them out in time.
point. But you know, well, if you expect me to go through with it, there's something you've got to do for me.
No, I'm not going to MC your wedding.
Well, you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to have and to hold, to love, honor, and obey, in sickness and in health, till death do you part.
Or until the oxygen wears out.
Who placed the ring upon her finger?
Where'd he get the ring?
By the power vested.
And we close up shop with the usual letters, and the bots taking a cue from the MC Escher special effects from the film.
Hey, thanks everybody for your cards and letters. They really helped pull us through.
Yeah, we thought the Lord was going to call Joel home until we got this card.
Oh boy, guys, was this ever a dry one. I fully acknowledge that this would be a really tough movie to riff. It's very boring and dialogue heavy with a lot of info being thrown at you and has virtually no plot or interest. But there was more room for jokes than they used, and the jokes that were there were pretty subpar even for this early in the series. There were a couple that made me laugh out loud for sure, but outside of those I barely even chuckled. Also, while there were only 2 visual gags that predicted what was going to happen, there were no less than 3 verbal riffs that were early as well. It may sound like a nitpick, but the spontaneous feel of the show is one of its greatest qualities, and to have those types of riffs takes away from that. And the segments, while a bit creative, seem to all need another rewrite or two to get the humor down pat. Overall, I think this episode is quite the step backwards. I thought we got past ones this rough, but unfortunately we weren't quite out of the weeds yet. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and special thanks to my beautiful Patreon supporters, including Jackie Ball, Kevin Nata, and Jill Johnson. I know this review ended on a bit of a sour note, but I'm still looking forward to finishing the last 4 Season 1 reviews. And before heading out, I just want to thank you all for the fantastic reception for my top 20 underrated MST episodes list, which just hit over 1,000 views already, and that's just incredible. I'm so glad you've all been enjoying it, especially after I had such a good time putting it together. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys later.
What?
Boo!
That's it?
Oh, wow.
The worst.
Oh, pathetic.